Thanks for listening, everyone, on the first Edgewood EmPowered podcast of this semester. Today we're going to talk about homework habits. We're starting it off with when what do you do when you should be doing homework? My name is Matt. I'm a sophomore here at Edgewood College.
I'm Kylie. I'm a junior at Edgewood College.
I'm John. I'm a sophomore but senior plus apparently at Edgewood College.
I'm James. I'm a junior at Edgewood College.
I'm Sabrine, and I'm also a junior at Edgewood College.
Awesome. So, who wants to start it off with what do you do when you should be doing your homework?
Oh, this is gonna get dangerous.
Well, start us off then.
All right. So personally, when I should be doing homework, all I do is either just surf social media or just stare at memes or YouTube. I'm not gonna lie.
Memes are fun and distracting. Probably need to get out of that more often.
I could spend easily a good 30, 40 minutes just on iFunny.
I've actually never used that before.
I do the weird habit of stressing about my schedule. So instead of doing homework, I'll email my professors about my classes when I could be doing homework for those classes. So
What do you email them about?
What?
usually I'm emailing about hey, can I take this class next semester if I finish this class? But am I gonna finish this class? That's the whole routine.
Ultimate question.
So you plan your schedule.
Yeah. Like the capstone we have to take. I'm trying to take that next semester, but instead of actually doing my networking homework, I'm worrying about that. 'Cause why would I do my homework?
Because yes.
Stop.
Sometimes you just can't do homework. It just I spent 2 hours in my car this morning just sitting there in the rain because I didn't want to study and I didn't want to go to work early, and I'm just like, all right, I'll just sit here and just try to take a nap, maybe watch some YouTube. But yeah, I spent literally 2 hours just in my car in the rain. It was very sad.
Well, that's up to user error, honestly. To you, it must have been the best time ever. But to me, I could not sit in my car with no AC, no nothing, and just rain. But if there was AC, I could be in there for a good few hours.
I mean, it wasn't that hot this morning, especially with the rain. The temperature cooled down a little bit, so I didn't feel too bad with the temperature. But it was more the fact that I sat alone for 2 hours in my car.
You know what?
That was the issue.
Is that a normal daily activity?
No, it was
No,
the
it's
first
just
time
out
I've
of the
done that
blue.
today.
So wait, what did you do in the car?
I sat and I did nothing, and I was
Oh.
just thinking about things that I should not be thinking about. So
Okay.
definitely should have been doing something productive instead of just sitting there like a statue doing nothing.
I get that. I'll go to class and then I'll come back home and I'll be like, I deserve to take a break. And then it's 8 p.m. and I'm like, well, it's too late for me to start homework, so I'll just wait. And then it'll be the next day and I'll be like, it's not due yet. So then I end up going down a YouTube hole, or just TV, or I'll just lay in bed and sleep, 'cause that's nice sometimes.
Yeah.
I mean, my personal philosophy is less is more. So I kind of ease myself into work. If I'm more of a short distance runner in terms of my attention span, so I get 2 hours of work that would be 8 hours for someone else, really done really quickly. But I need times to relax. Luckily, I haven't gotten to a situation where I have to be crunched to do everything super quickly yet. I'll probably have to worry about that next semester, but I've been pretty productive with the chunks I do in my work, so yeah.
Yeah, I'll get productive for a little bit, and then I just have to get up and do something else, or do homework for a different class, and then just keep going back and forth, because otherwise I start making silly mistakes that should not have been made. So
What do you mean by silly mistakes?
I'll just start, if I'm looking too hard at one assignment or one problem, if I'm sitting there for an hour or two just staring at the same thing, I just start making mistakes that I normally wouldn't, because I'm
Yeah,
just
makes
so spaced out of it, but that's why I like to just switch like every like 45 minutes or so, just switch to a different homework assignment and then work on that and go back just to refresh a little bit.
I take walks to help keep me motivated. Because
Yeah,
once you slip down that YouTube hole, you don't notice it when you're tired, and then 2 hours go by, and you're like, shit, I gotta get back. Ah.
So I think we definitely should come back to the YouTube part.
Yeah.
For the walks, like, is there a certain distance usually you walk? Is it just kind of a quick walk around?
Yeah, just like walk
house?
around, listen to music just to get myself active so I'm not like hunched over and thinking too much. Because I think another thing that I do actually is be too detail oriented on the homework. Like, I spend way too much time trying to figure out every little detail instead of, it could have just been like that. You know, like I spent like 15 minutes, could have been 5 minutes.
I don't know
But,
about you guys,
yeah.
but what I like to do is overachieve on a lot of assignments and then underachieve on the ones I don't like. So for web design, I'll go in. You saw it, the randomly generating div.
Yeah.
I was having so much fun with that assignment that I didn't do my networking homework. So I was like, oh, I feel like I'm really good at this, so I'm gonna overachieve and waste more time on an assignment I don't need to do anymore. But that's because it makes me feel like I'm productive.
Yeah.
And if I feel like I'm productive, then I'm not going to be mad at myself later.
And again, that goes back to my philosophies. When I'm in the mode to work, I get more done. When you feel happy, and if you feel like you're forced to do it, you can't.
Yep.
If it goes to like anything, I'm like the most like aware procrastinator ever. Like I know that like I got homework that I should be doing for like this class and this class and this class. But granted, I'm just like, nah, I'll wait like another hour. It's not due till like next week. 3 days go by. We're good. What's tomorrow? But then
Oh,
I'm
I have a
like,
question, actually, Matt. What types of music influence your homework the most? Like when I'm coding, I like to listen to electronic or metal because it helps me to think logically and linearly. Do you guys have any favorite music you guys like to listen to?
Vanos Gaming. I have to have a YouTube video pulled up because I associate my music with either enjoyable times or being at work. So when I'm at home, I'd like to just listen to random people gaming because then it's a bunch of screaming and that's oddly calming in some weird way, but
Doesn't that also like
That's for sure.
distract you? Like if you're trying to code, for instance, and you're stuck on a problem in like concentration, and then you hear people talk about your favorite game. Don't you want it to be like, oh, I want to watch them?
oh yeah, it's definitely distracting. It's not
So
a good
it's
thing.
kind of like a double-edged sword.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, but I don't know. I make it work somehow.
I like
What
to
about you,
listen-
Supreme?
I like to listen to music scores, like or film scores. I mean, like, I listen to a lot of like Audio Machine and like Hans Zimmer.
Yeah, I was about to say
is
Hans
really
Zimmer.
good,
I love
yeah.
Hans Zimmer.
I don't know. It just makes me feel like I'm on a like I'm doing something actually like epic and grand and important when I'm doing my homework. So it just makes it easier to focus on that. And then I can feel like when I need to take a break, I can just sit there and like
If,
space
like-
out for a little bit. I'm on a quest.
Well, I'm super weird when like it comes to music. I'll either do like classical, I could do like in-game music from like my favorite series, or I could just do like weird like uplifting stuff from like Pandora or like Spotify or things like that. There's really like no margin to like measure it. It's just like really
What
like
about
what I'm in
rap?
the mood for. No.
Yeah, I do any of you guys listen to rap when you work, or have you?
Mm-mm.
Not
Yeah,
rap's
I
not really
can't.
my-
You can't. Like, it's too distracting.
I'll go back and forth though. So this isn't just homework, but like in general when I'm doing work, I'll listen to like my indie music, but then I'll get way too pumped up because I like the music too much. So I'll
Wasn't
try
that a
to
good
switch.
thing? Because it helps you to like, yes, I can get this done.
No,
Unless you
because I'd
start
rather be
dancing.
singing. I'd rather be like dancing to the music
Yeah.
than like.
I've been there, done
But
that.
if I put stuff on I don't like, I find myself just clicking through it, trying to find something I like,
Mhm.
right? And it's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah,
and you just sit there and you're like, I wasted 2 hours going through my playlist.
That's like me on Netflix. Oh my god, that's me
Mhm.
on Netflix. Like I sit there like, yeah, I want to watch a movie or I want to watch a TV show, like in the time that I should be doing my homework, and I sit there for 2 hours just looking for something to watch, and I can never find anything.
See, here's like my issue is that I found like a good show that like I love watching, and like I'm rewatching it now. I binged watched the whole season within like 2 or 3 days. It's like 22 episodes, and they're each like 45 minutes.
Oh my god.
Wait, James, I'm surprised no one has mentioned Reddit.
Whoa,
I don't really spend
Reddit.
time on Reddit.
Do any of you guys spend time on Reddit?
Uh,
Yep, there we go.
Yes.
The one
There it
Reddit
is.
person.
Listen, we're not gonna even touch Reddit, okay? We're not going there.
Wait, do any of you guys use like a healthy but really not healthy like I'm trying to think of the words. Like inspiration. So like there is something I saw that people will put gummy bears on the bottom of paragraphs. So like when they reach the paragraph they can eat it. I don't do that. I don't have self-control. But like I do this where I will go, if I get this coding assignment done, I can afford to watch an hour of YouTube. I always go longer because again, no self-control. But like, does anybody ever do that where you motivate yourself to like get your work done? So
Again,
you
I
can?
spend literally 5 to 10 minutes, sometimes 20, like pumping myself up. Like, you know on Pac-Man how he like runs super fast, you charge him, and then he just explodes? Yeah, that's me. I like do that, and it helps me to just. This is a machine gun.
Okay, so actually, here's like my thing. So technically, for my piano class, I should be like practicing more and more each day, but there is this like one game that I'm like super like addicted to, and the soundtrack is absolutely perfect. And most of the instruments in that game uses a piano, so I'm literally using that class to like get myself to learn to play like a few certain songs from this one game series, as well as like one song from Piano Tiles, just because it's super good, it's super fast and super intense, and I love it.
I love piano tiles. That's fun. But yeah, no, it's good that you find something that you can connect your school life to like your like what you like to do outside of, like what you enjoy. I think it makes it bearable,
That's for damn
honestly.
sure.
Yeah, like I would rather have, be working towards something that like is personally important to me, or like I just really enjoy it and like have it connect to schoolwork, because it just makes it easier and it gives it more meaning, I think.
My professor has definitely told me that like I'm like really ambitious about learning like different things. Like I'm like going ahead in class, even though I'm like kind of behind, but I'm not. Like people are ahead of me, but I'm like in the like happy medium. Like I'm doing okay, but I'm not. But I am. But it's like I've like showed him like super complicated like sheet music. He's like, dude, you gotta just like focus on the basics now. Like this class, by the end, you'll be able to do this, this, and this. But you might have to like teach yourself a few things. So give it time, keep practicing. I love the ambition you have, but be patient and you'll be there.
And he has a point. I mean, you should always know your basics in anything. Like, just understand the basics first before you like try to go for anything higher, because you don't want to like risk doing something you're not like you don't think you have the skill for it, and then like failing at it, or like messing up, or not like living to your own expectations, and then just like hating the whole thing of like, okay, I don't want to play piano anymore, you know. So it's good that he's helping you understand that like, yeah, basics are important.
Yeah.
So how do you guys categorize what work you should be doing? Like, what homework do you prefer to do first? I'm trying to skip to the schedule, but yeah.
I mean, I think the most important thing is like when it has to be turned in, and then also like trying to budget time, because if it's an essay, it's gonna take a little bit longer, and it might not be able to be done in like one setting. So thinking kind of to the week, what you need to do.
Yeah, I tend to enjoy doing my web development homework more, just 'cause
It's fun. I agree.
that. But then also, right now my classes, like that's the only like straight coding class that I'm taking right now, and I prefer to code as opposed to like learning theories or whatever. So the classes where I can just straight code, I enjoy those more. Like last semester, it was my Java class. Like I would just do my Java homework first, always, and then I would worry about like Python and whatever else coding classes I had. But yeah, coding for me is, I like to finish that first and then worry about it, or worry or do or not do the rest of it.
No, I'm the same way. I like to code, especially in web design. With the experience I have, I like to think that I'm better than I am. So I'll go into that class and be like, oh, I did this at work. Let me just redo it. But then that makes me overly confident. So then I'll be like, wait, I actually don't know what I'm doing. But I like doing web design more. I like the creativity element too. But I like with the math homework and my food homework, like all of my tag stuff that I'm taking because Edgewood's making us take it. It makes me not want to do it.
Yeah.
Versus like my major is stuff I chose to do because I chose my major. So that kind of gives me the incentive of like, I like this. I have to like it. It's my job. But yeah, it's basically like the idea of a major is you're doing what you potentially want to do. So if I don't like this, that's going to be a problem. I don't know. Someone can stop me and take over.
Well, I was going to say, how do you motivate yourself to get things you don't want to do? Like in the classes that you're taking for requirements, how do you guys get through those? James, you start off.
It is literally all stress and like what's due next. Because chances are I've procrastinated to like the very like last night that it's due. Like I did this like all last semester where like I had this like huge project that I didn't even open until like the night it was due, and it was due at like midnight. But thankfully I got it in because she gave us a template. But it's like,
what magic did you ingest to get a whole project done in a night?
Anxiety.
Yeah.
Not wanting to fail.
You know what? That actually sums it up pretty much. But it's like chances are I haven't done the homework unless I'm like, either I've got the code and I like understand it, or the essay is like super easy, but it's hard to explain, if that makes sense.
Now, do you ever look at a calendar and say, this is due in 2 weeks, I probably should do something on it now because I don't want to do it the night before?
Yes. Actually, yes.
See, what do you guys use, like a panda planner?
Do that, actually.
I was directing that towards James, but...
Oh, sorry, James. After you.
What I was trying to say, do you guys ever have like a for long-term planning? I have like a panda planner that has like a daily planner of hours I'm supposed to work. I actually find that counterproductive because it's hard for me to force myself to work from a specific set of time. But do you guys ever have like that, like a daily planner doing these are the hours that I should be working on this assignment? Then I have work that these are the hours I should be doing this one.
No. I have
None of you guys use a planner?
I mean, not something written down. I feel like I kind of know like what time frames I am able to do certain assignments and what's available generally for classes. But
I only use it when I'm stressed, like when I need to be structured throughout the day, or if I have a long-term project. But yeah.
So as it turns out, I actually do have a project that was due like 2 or 3 days ago, but it's like in-class work, and like what our guy wants us to do is basically like poison our own cash, and I have never figured it out before. Like I still can't figure it out.
Wait,
I know
poison?
Yeah, poison.
What does that mean?
It's like put in like this one web address, but it sends you to another.
Ah, yeah, I gotcha.
Callie, is that right?
More or less. I don't really have the qualifications to answer that, but yeah, you basically are creating like a fake phishing thing where you would send out an IP address but really send it somewhere else. So it's kind of like, yeah, you're basically just sending a phishing scam.
Yeah,
but
so like
only to your own machine.
I still haven't done that just because like I can't figure it out, and chances are I might have to ask for some help. Like I've got everything else done. It's just that like one piece that like he wants in, and he like expects us to like know it, kind of, sorta, but he still like walks us through it in class, but he doesn't.
Wait, so it sounds like it's in class, not outside work.
It is.
It's both.
So like he wants it like we started in class, but it's got like an outside of class due date. Like it was due I think Saturday, and
Wait, so what do you do outside of class if it's all in class? That's kind of...
Either I procrastinate it or I get it done in class, whichever's easier. Comments,
mean,
questions, concerns?
A good example of procrastinating is right now I'm doing homework because I put it off to the last minute. But I get what you mean with the whole doing it in class versus out of class. I think the class you're talking about is a different example because it's like a new class that we're running here, new professor. It's kind of like testing the water.
Yeah.
But I agree. If you don't know what you're doing, it's really hard to be motivated to try because it's like if he's not going to go over it in class, I'm not actually going to learn what we're doing. So how does it benefit me if I learn it wrong and he doesn't tell me, you know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, even if he gave us like an extra 30 minutes in class, I feel like tons of more people would like benefit from it, honestly.
Is that true? I know what we do. We do BuzzFeed quizzes. Would we really benefit anyone?
Okay, you send me those quizzes, and then...
Hey, you're the one that takes them too.
Exposed.
So,
BuzzFeed.
James, what steps do you take then when you're trying to do the assignment you don't know what to do?
I'll message someone, I'll do some research, either like, I'll find something similar to it, like if it's like a coding work, I find something close to it, or like try to nitpick it myself and do some like trial and error, and sometimes that works, sometimes it doesn't. But if it's like for an essay, I try to get that done in one sitting. Like, I've been to the writing center like twice in my 3 years here, just 'cause like either my essays are pretty good, or I just like go talk to them and get edits done in class with the professor or outside of class with the professor. Just 'cause that's like better to go to the source than to someone who can sort of like guess maybe this is what you should do, maybe this is what you shouldn't do.
The 2 times you went there, was it required by the professor?
No.
It wasn't? So why'd you pick those 2 times then?
I was more or less just to like make sure that like my edits were okay. This is like my freshman year, so like I don't remember it at all. It's more or less like getting an outside point of view, make sure it's done right. This is like, it's just been a while.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. I guess I meant like, why did you personally feel that you wanted to go there just for those 2 essays and not the other ones?
Oh,
Because obviously they're going to promote it, you know, to be a place that they can give you ideas and such, but
that's true, but it was more or less like I had some extra time on my hands when I didn't have like, well, like, I consider myself like a good student, but I considered myself a better student then, because I actually like got work done at a timely pace. But it's like those few times I had extra time and I just went in to get some fresh eyes on it. And like, it's harder to go somewhere when you aren't on campus often. Now, granted, like now these days I'm on campus like for a good 3 or 4 hours, if not more, during the week. But like these past few semesters, I had like classes only on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and Tuesday, Thursday I would just go to work because I had the full day off.
I want to pull us back to the idea of YouTube because we brought it up earlier. How do we all feel that the feature of like autoplay for like the next video affects just leaving homework for a little bit?
Ooh. I don't really like autoplay because if I'm watching like a web series and it goes to like something else when I like want to like review something that like was seen at the very end, that's kind of annoying. Because if I go back, then it plays an ad. An ad, and if I go forward, it plays an ad. It's weird.
Yeah, what I do is that I'll just like set a time
I'm sorry.
for when I'll set a time for when I just like scroll through YouTube and just save videos to a playlist. And then I'll just watch that playlist when I should be doing homework.
Do any of you guys watch any like streamers like for video games? I've actually watched Christopher Ad. He's like a really cool Let's Player, but I occasionally from time to time.
I don't really watch streamers myself. I just watch the videos on YouTube. That's really it.
Like what videos? That's what I should say. Like what type?
Vanoss Gaming.
That's that's an example of what I was talking about.
But there's this really interesting thing that don't laugh at my source, but it's the game theory.
Oh, I love the game
I love
theory.
game
I
theory.
do too. But he did this thing about like the wheel of YouTube, and he was comparing the Vanoss Gaming crew as like you watch his video and then you watch Moo's video to see his perspective, and then you go to Terrorizer, and then Marcel. Like you keep going through all of these videos, especially the Doomsday. We were talking.
Yeah,
James
that
and I
was
were talking
hilarious.
about that. But basically, like you wanted to see everyone's perspective, and they kind of build it that way. So I'm like, all right, I saw this person's, but I didn't see this person's. This person's editor's funnier, so I gotta see that. You know,
Yeah.
that's what I end up doing. And then autoplay knows that I like this guy, so let me see the other perspective. And it's also a problem when they all upload at the same time, because then I want to watch all of the uploads at once.
Either I'll stick with like one or two YouTubers. Generally, like I'll watch Vanoss or Norgle's point of view, but occasionally, if I'm feeling it, I watch Marcel's just because I love Marcel. He's hilarious.
But like, I think that builds into the autoplay is because I go, the videos are so repetitive that I no longer notice that I've watched them already. But because it's a new perspective, I've tricked myself into thinking, oh, it's new content. It's really not. It's the same 6 people uploading the same video, but I have to support them all and I have to watch them all. And then there goes 3 hours of my life and 0 homework done.
Officer Porkchop.
Do you guys watch any international streamers? Like anybody like from? Because I watch Soviet Womble from the UK. Yeah, and then I watch Fitz in New Zealand, Australia.
Oh yeah, Fitz is hilarious. And,
I love his videos.
Fitz and Pokemon.
Oh yeah.
Their Minecraft series is hilarious to watch.
Yeah, I tend to, I don't know, I don't get Minecraft.
Yeah.
So I don't watch a lot of Minecraft, but I watch a lot of their like CS:GO videos, and their like Rainbow Six Siege series too. So I end up just like switching between like Fitz and Swagger Souls or like.
I love Swagger.
Again,
Yeah,
I
it's
mentioned
really
this
funny.
before. If you, Viva La Dirt League is an amazing channel that does a lot of commentaries on podcasts and stuff like that. Definitely check them out if you see them.
Ooh, if we're gonna get to podcasts, I could go.
No,
on
it's not a
forever.
podcast.
No,
it's
but
like,
I'm just saying.
so it's cool. Definitely check them out.
I've definitely got this like weird addiction now because of like I'm a driver for a company for people who don't know that, and like to like pass the time, all I would do is just like listen to podcasts and just drive. Like there's this like 2 people called Slacker and Steve. They were in Madison, but now they're in Colorado, and I listen to like their podcast every day. It's the funniest thing ever. That and also like the Bobby Bone show like in the morning definitely gets me through my like morning runs, but it's just easier to like listen to someone's voice than music that's like on repeat or on the exact same station. Can't talk.
Hey Matt,
Slacker
what
and
about
Steve
your
used to be on the radio, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
that's,
they still are. They're just in Colorado now.
oh, okay. Yeah. 'Cause I
Wait,
remember
so
loving them.
do you guys download podcasts before you go out into your drive, James, or do you guys just?
I mean, it really like depends on the data plan you have. Like I've got unlimited data.
I have unlimited data too.
Spotify.
Yeah.
Oops, I'm poor. I have to download them all. I'm gonna out myself as a weirdo. I listen to My Favorite Murder because I love true crime, and it's 2 women comedians talking about like murders. I recommend, but it's also that weird thing where like I can fall asleep to it, and I don't know if I should have conditioned myself to do that, because it'll be like, oh, let's talk about Jack the Ripper at midnight, and I'll be like, guess I could be doing homework, but I'm not going to be because now I'm up thinking about Jack the Ripper.
You said it's
See,
called-
that's the scariest thing when you have YouTube videos that make you think. It's not humor. You like forget about it after like a minute. But the ones that like make you think about deep things, and it's like a little like whole mole in the back of your head. Like you keep continuously going back to scratch it when you're trying to work. You
Is
guys
it
ever had that
scary?
happen to you?
You said that's scary to have.
No. Well,
To
yeah, like if you watch a thing about life that says, "Oh yeah, we can be conditioned like dogs," you know, that's not let's say not dogs. We're conditioned to like other animals. Okay, we can be behavior and like just like the way that patterns should be. Anyway, then you're working on your homework or you're trying to code or type your paper, you think, "Wow, that's really true," and then you kind of go back in a feedback loop to where it began. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I guess it makes sense, but like that, I wouldn't see that as something like scary or worrisome. Like I'd rather be aware of the fact that, oh my god, it actually is true that like
Yeah, I know, but again, you're
things
trying
like-
to work. That's what I'm saying. Like you're trying to be productive working, and then you just continuously think about it. Like you can't. It disrupts your flow of work. That makes
I
any sense.
would-
I get what you're
Yeah.
trying to say. You're trying
Yeah.
to say like you'll
Like-
hear news or something and be like, I can't think about homework. I have to think about my life crisis right now.
Yeah, but even while you're working, like it creeps into your thoughts. That's what I'm saying.
I get that. That's
Yeah.
why I put music on or videos on, is so I'm not thinking about
Yeah.
it. I get what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I definitely do some like miscellaneous research, like either on the show that I'm watching, the game that I'm playing, just to sort of like jump ahead and like get some like more in depth in like certain characters if I like them or not. It's a problem actually when it's like every night and stuff that like I've already read, but I'll still keep like going back and reading it. It's not good.
So I'm gonna pull us in a little different direction here. How often do all of you use YouTube to like get a video to help you with homework or anything along that lines?
Never.
all the time, all the time,
What?
every day, every day.
Really?
Listen,
Okay.
I can't when I need help like learning a subject or a whole course. I have nobody to teach me except for the professionals on YouTube. I can't like, I gotta pass this class. How else am I gonna pass it if I can't find help from a professor who's not willing to help or from other
Well,
peers
the
who are also
Ooh.
confused as I am?
I
Like,
feel
what?
triggered, Sabrine.
I
I
am
think I know what you're talking
extremely
about.
triggered.
Again-
I'm so triggered. I
Ooh,
can't deal with this
she's-
anymore.
Sabrina,
She is,
you
like,
deal,
digging
you
a
deal
grave.
with
It's
the
not
whole
good.
thing of going down the YouTube rabbit hole. You get a YouTube suggestion, then you watch that, and then you forget what you've learned.
No, I
No,
benefit.
we're going off
We're-
I
topic.
take notes.
Let me clarify. We're looking for a video that is directly about what you're trying to learn or the homework assignment or something like that.
Yeah.
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 Yes.
Our
Still
best
yes.
example is a class that James, Sabrina, and I are all in, and I won't name it. I won't name any of the stuff we've been talking about for the past month. But the short answer is the majority of the students have to turn to YouTube or other students or other professors because we're not learning it in class. So most of my YouTube history is either all of those gaming videos or like how to solve an if-then conditional. like my algorithm is amazingly screwed up somehow, but I will watch those videos while doing my homework. So it like keeps me focused on homework, but then I'll just get bored and want to watch something else.
So, you know, like I've got a case where I was actually trying to like learn like one song and just like memorize the movements. I've done like a good like 5 or 10 notes for this like one song just by like watching someone play it and like repeating it, and just like watching and observing. I don't know why, but just I learned super well that way. So like
Okay.
I could play like the first 5 or 6 notes of The Fountain from Piano Tiles. Even though I shouldn't be using black keys yet.
So how much time do you guys look up answers versus actual doing the work? That's a good question.
90% of the time.
You look up answers 90% of the time and
Yes.
only 10% work.
Yes.
Matt, what are you laughing about?
Wait, I might have heard the question wrong. You said you look up 90% of your answer before even starting the work.
Yes. Well, no, like
What
during
if
the
like a
work.
really easy?
Sabrina, what? That's actually funny.
No, we understand, James.
That's what
We understand.
It makes it even better. But yes, Matt. Most of the time, if I'm like doing homework at home and I don't understand it, I'm just gonna use check and like find the answers.
You're just outing
Okay.
yourself.
I really
But
don't.
see, you said it differently that time. you say if I don't understand it, I'm gonna go use it. Versus before I start the assignment, I'm gonna go find the answers.
No, he meant the latter of what you
Yeah.
said.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Stack
like,
overflow
if
in W3 school.
Yes.
Flowing
Honestly.
through.
I feel
Like,
like, well,
I've
with my,
definitely copied
I'm not
code
gonna
before.
mention the class, Kylie.
Yeah.
I feel like, oh god,
Kaylee.
hey. I feel like for one of my classes that you, me, and Sabrina were in, I literally can find the answers of the code online, the entire problem, and just copy and paste. So I'm like a script daddy. That's what I've heard, is that there's like script daddies who just copy and paste, and then there are other programmers who actually understand it. I'm worried that like because I copy and paste everything, I do basically, digest and look how it works. But I'm worried I might become like overwhelmed because I'm not actually doing it myself. I'm just copying and paste.
As a code, oh wait,
Go for it.
okay. As a coder, the most dangerous thing you can do is just copy paste. That is
Preach.
definitely how like I've like messed up like assignments for like a few classes just because like I would like find code, think it works, and it doesn't, and then he like questions like, is this not your work or is it? And that turns into like
Have
race
you ever
question.
been tempted on plagiarism?
No.
We'll go with that answer. Yes.
Oh no.
Unless you have some like good evidence, we're just gonna stick with no.
Yeah,
James
probably not a good idea.
plagiarized me.
I don't copy. I'm just saying that I don't like.
Oh no.
I'm kidding.
I basically change things. I don't like do the exact same thing.
Yeah. But it's like even then, sometimes they can tell if it's like code specifically. Like they just know your habits as a coder, and if you copy pasted it or you didn't.
Yeah. It's
But I
kinda
make
like
it my
writing.
habits. That's the thing. Like I
It's-
literally.
It's a horrible habit to have as a coder. Matt, write this down. Do not copy paste code.
I-
Matt is the least
I
likely
think
one to
it's-
do that.
Yeah, I think you're talking to
Honestly,
the wrong
yeah.
person, James.
I think going through and like using that as a resource is one thing, but just copy and pasting and assuming it's going to work isn't
Well, I
going
don't
to get you
assume it's
anywhere.
gonna work. I literally go back and like digest everything and understand it. Because then you go to the answer of like I don't know what this did from 2 months ago because I just assumed it would work. I don't know how the hell it works.
Right, but at that point you're not really learning it then if you don't know. I mean, I'm not saying you remember everything in 2 months, but if you're copying something and you don't understand how the fundamental part of it works, then you're not going to understand it in 2 months either.
That's the issue I have, honestly.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah.
So either you learn it when you're on the topic and you like digest all of it,
Yes.
and you just like speak as much as you can in class, you ask as many questions as you can in class, and you move on. You do not sit on like weird games and play them in the middle of class when you could be learning. No one say anything. Or take BuzzFeed quizzes at Kylie.
I remember that.
Hey.
No,
what
you
about the
used
time
to
you
show
played
us the
Minecraft
funniest meme.
I feel
for
it
3 hours?
It was never in
Oh my
class. It was
God, I
never
feel
in
it.
class. It was
Listen.
before class.
It was during like the first hour. I remember like hearing you play Minecraft.
Okay, but back to my point.
Okay.
The minute you like understand it, then by all means go ahead, screw off, do whatever you got to do. But like when it's like a new topic, you just gotta digest everything he's saying until it makes sense, and you can just like do it on your own. Like for example, last Thursday we were given an assignment, and I was actually like screwing around because I sort of understood certain loops. I'm not gonna go into details of like what it was. This echo. So basically, I accidentally did part of the assignment in class, and I just went with it. I was like, this is good. I'm going to save this. It works.
What happened afterward?
I didn't turn it until like last night.
So
Still
it
got a
was
perfect
done.
score on this.
It was done for that long.
Huh?
It was finished and then you just turned it in last night.
Yes.
So why'd you do that?
So I worked on it some more on Saturday
Okay.
or Sunday. So like I got the like print full done, but not the print hollow or the print triangle / diamond. I could not figure that out for the life of me. I definitely did use a guide to like help me like guide into the better direction for the print diamond, just because that's extra credit. And I was like, I'm already done. I've spent like a good 2 or 3 hours like reversing code, checking things like, is this making sense or not? Like, it was a mess. Um, so then of course it's like noon. I actually had to like come to campus. It was like noon or 2 o'clock, and because of my class, I've got to like go to certain concerts, either for the UW, for Edgewood, and like write a review on it. So of course I come to that. I'm either really into it or I'm bored out of my mind. Definitely was the latter, and I do that. I go home and the assignment's done, but I forget to turn it in until last night.
That's the worst thing. Like
Oh,
when you have
definitely.
something done and you forget to turn. Yeah. No, I can relate to that. That's annoying. Yeah.
I think it was definitely the extra credit that like still got me the perfect score on the assignment.
Mhm. Yeah. I mean, even when like using like going back to like the whole copying code thing, like I don't think I've ever had to like straight out just copy and paste code and like turn it in, but
No, no, yeah.
I definitely use code as like a guide to like just give me an idea of what I need to do. Like even if my code ends up looking extremely similar to like what I was looking at, like it's still my code. Like I still okay, like I learned this from this internet code that I found, but I'm going to use that and like make it my own. Like it's
Well,
still I
usually-
typed everything. I didn't copy or paste, but like it's not like I'm just like looking at the code and just copying exactly what I'm seeing.
That's
It's
what it
just-
turns into if I do that.
What?
That's what it turns into if I do that.
Yeah, I just
No, I write it out myself. I don't even copy. I just literally just, well, I'm on my own. I'm not talking about doing classwork, but like when I'm studying stuff myself, I literally just copy what's on the screen in my own way, and then I just for my own research use.
Yeah, but I mean, even if like, what's the point of doing research on your own if you're gonna like, if you're not digesting or like understanding it, you know? So like, it would definitely like, okay, if you're gonna like copy the code and then like get it or like run it so that you can see like what's happening, like that's a different story. But like,
Yeah.
if you like, you don't wanna, I don't know, like you should just make sure that you're at least understanding what you're looking at, because otherwise, like what are you going to benefit from it, you know?
Give me a second, guys. Hold on.
Someone has a phone call.
Okay, yeah, if you could set the headphones on the table so we don't hear them at the phone.
You can
Perfect.
step out too if you want.
Yeah, it's cool.
Please do.
Going to like
Take 10, guys.
going to like copying code. Something I've noticed with work is that like the art of coding is the best way to put it is like repetition and uniformity. Is that the word? Yeah, uniformity.
Like when everything's uniform, yes.
Yeah, so like we'll do methods in Spring, for example, where it's like, oh, instead of learning how to do it your way, copy what's already been done and adjust what you need, which is a fairly common practice in like big terms, which does have issues when you come to like doing homework because, oh, 1,000,000 people have already done it, why do I have to do it? But I've noticed doing that at work doesn't necessarily benefit me, because down the road when I have to do it again and I have questions, it's the same answer of just like, you've done it before, copy it and change it, which I think that speaks more to coding less than like how you do your homework, because that's just a type of homework. Because people that are like environment majors, they're not going to understand a thing we're saying.
Yeah.
So like cheating, that's the only way I'm going to put it. Although that doesn't, I'm not saying that's necessarily cheating.
It's more
But,
or less
like-
like taking someone else's work that it's already done and like making like a few improvements here and there and putting it as your own.
But
basically.
like, if we were to put that in terms of like papers and
Yeah.
tests, that would be cheating, right?
Yeah, technically.
I think the issue when it comes to like our coding homework is code, and like the coding language can only get you so far. Then when it comes to like doing things, is it necessarily cheating? I don't know. I agree. Like I'll look up solutions to just see if I'm doing something wrong, if I'm missing that semicolon. But if you start to think of it and associate it with cheating or like doing something wrong, you end up convincing yourself like to learn it. And I don't know, that's made me feel like a better programmer, is because I'm forcing myself to go, yeah, copying this isn't my work. Yeah, that's all I've got.
You just gotta rename those variables, and then it is your work.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
No, it's not.
I took a class like a while ago where I tried to do that. I learned nothing until I took that class here. Like there was no way. Like we're doing the same exact things, but like why didn't I understand it the first time? Because I was copying and pasting.
Yep.
So
Literally same.
it's definitely better to, just try to make it, just understand it. Like just try to understand it. Like do what you have to do in order to like figure out exactly like what it is that you're doing, because everything builds off of it. You're gonna have, at least for computer science, like when you go into the workforce, you're definitely gonna need everything that you've learned in coding.
Yep.
There's nothing that's not useful when it comes to computer science in the workforce, because you get, it's such a broad field that you're gonna need every skill that you can get while you're in college. So yeah, definitely make an effort to try to understand everything that you can. Otherwise, look, what's the point?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that was a really nice way to wrap it up, and we're going to wrap it up right now. So thanks for everyone joining us in here, and stay tuned for next time.